Hello, people. Today we are looking at why people don't believe victims of narcissistic abuse. Yes, because people don't often believe the stories of victims of narcissistic abuse. You see, it's only when we tell stories, making videos, tell stories to inspire other people, to make other people aware of that paradigm that people can believe. Because this and people who can believe this are people who are also going through the same experience. Those who have suffered narcissistic abuse, or people who are currently going through the pain, the abuse, but they don't understand what it means, because it takes a lot for you to understand what you are going through if you are living with a narcissist. Because the narcissist will manipulate you in a way that you will wonder. You will wonder if you will get so confused, and you begin to seek answers, because deep down within you, you know that the relationship is not the way it ought to be. You know that something is wrong with you in that relationship, but you just can't figure out what that thing is. And so you get so confused and stuck in there. But you wish you could do something to fix it, something to change it. But you will not be able to, because you have no you don't have a deeper understanding of what that paradigm actually is. Unless you come across people who have suffered it before, people, because when you tell your friends, those who have not, who don't know, who have no idea about it, they will not understand what you are talking about. Because looking at you outside and the man, you look cute, they see you as a cute family. They see you, some of them may even be envious of your family, because they will think that you are enjoying. Your husband is a smart guy, your husband is handsome, is a gentleman, a man with a great personality. Because normally when you see the male narcissists, they look smart, and they dress impressively. So the image they portray outside is different from the image they portray inside. So when people see a couple like that outside, a woman who is married to a narcissist, so it's difficult for people to understand what is happening. Even if she expresses herself, or she tries to tell her stories to her closest friends, they will find it very difficult to believe her, because they are seeing her as somebody who is really happy. That is in their own thinking. The woman is happy, the woman is comfortable, the man is a good guy, is a gentleman, and is doing everything possible to sustain his family, is taking good care of the woman and the entire family. They will not understand that the woman is in pain, the woman is suffering. She's just covering up, because women don't speak out, victims don't speak out. They don't speak out. And even when they speak out, people don't believe them. They don't believe them because the narcissist is very manipulative and very controlling. So, because the narcissist manipulates the woman a lot. For example, there are some who beat their wives. A relationship with a narcissist, there's always a shouting match. There's always intense rage, because narcissists rage a lot. So you see, and they abuse a lot. They call their victims names, derogatory names, because they tend to devalue them. So when the narcissist begins to do all of that, a narcissist will even beat you. Yes, they beat their victims. A narcissist will beat you, and the next minute is apologizing, and he may even go out and get you a gift. He will take you out and give you a nice treat, and promising that, in fact, that is the end of it all, that is never going to do any of that to you again. He will promise all of that. He will pretend to be a nice person shortly after that. And you see, when you see the way he's acting, because they're always acting, when you see the way he will behave after the incident, and then you will begin to think as a woman, oh, perhaps he did not mean it. or maybe he was under pressure, or maybe something happened, or he wasn't happy, or he had a problem at the time. That was why he behaved that way. You see, women always make excuses. They always make excuses for the abuser. They make excuses for bad behavior. It was, it's because women don't know. When you don't know, somebody will begin to manipulate you. They will manipulate you and gaslight you and make you begin to doubt your sense of reasoning. You begin to doubt yourself because they twist your sense of reasoning by with gaslighting. And so when they do all of that to you, you will think, oh, he did not. He must have made it. That it must be a mistake. Something must be wrong somewhere. This man is a good man. I remember the time we first met. He treated me very kindly. He did this. We begin to remember. Narcissists dwell on fantasies. All those things that he was just doing. He was doing to you to secure you. He wasn't just doing them. He was doing them so that you will feel that he's a good guy, and so you will relax, and accept him. That's what all of them do. That time he will be washing your pants, buying you nice gift, calling you all the time on the phone, you know, just to play the good guy and then secure you. And after that, the drama starts. It's when that drama starts, you begin to question yourself. You begin to wonder, what has gone wrong? What's the problem? This guy wasn't like this in the beginning. He was a good guy. You see why you begin to blame, the woman will begin to blame herself that this guy is a good guy. Perhaps she's the one who is not treating him right. You begin to think of all these things in your mind, that perhaps you are the one who is doing something wrong. This man is a good guy. And you see, when you go and tell your friends, you see, the woman will want to go, perhaps maybe like you have a problem at home with your narcissistic husband, and you now want to go and tell your friends outside. When you explain to them, they will even think that you are the one who is not treating the guy well. From the beginning, because you must have told them when you do first met that this guy is a nice guy. He did this, he did that, he has been doing this, he has been doing that to you. And so it becomes difficult for you to even tell them, in some cases, to even tell them. That's why you see victims of narcissistic abuse don't speak out, even when their relations ask them. Maybe if they could see something, they could see that something is wrong with the person in the relationship, and then they try to confront the person to find out what's wrong, because they could see that the woman is not happy, and so they want to find out. The woman will make excuses, will defend the abuser, will not she will not speak out, she won't say the truth, she will pretend that everything is fine, and whereas she's suffering. You see, so it's difficult for them to come out to start saying that, oh, this person is not who we thought he was. It's not, it's much more than that. It's a terrible person that is difficult to cope with. you know we won't be able to say that, because from the beginning you made them believe that the guy is a very good guy, is a nice man, and so you have resolved to settle with him. So it won't just be soon after the man, because narcissists don't waste time. They cannot. Their marks always flip. Even in relationship before the marriage side, you will begin to see the clues. You will see the red flags. It's just that we women are not. We don't pay attention to the red flags. We either make excuses or pretend not to see, or just simply ignore. You see, that's why we find ourselves in trouble when we do all of these things. But if you pay attention from the beginning, you will always see the red flags. You will know that this person is not the right guy. He's only acting, he's pretending. The real person behind the mask is yet to be revealed. But we don't do that. But if we start doing that, we will begin to understand this thing very well, and will no longer be victims of narcissistic abuse. So it's important that we pay attention. We pay attention and ensure that We know who we are going to meet. We know the person before we make the next move. Otherwise, narcissists don't change. They don't change. Narcissists don't change. Nothing changes them. They remain the same. Unless they encounter a higher power. If a narcissist does not encounter a higher power, meaning that maybe something terrific happens to them, maybe like something really terrible, something very huge thing that is something that could crumble them or could even kill the person, happen to the person, that's when the person will change. That's when the spirit behind the marks will leave the body, and so the person will come back to himself and embrace his humanity and then change, because there is always a spirit behind. You see, when we are looking at these people, we call them narcissists, all these names we are calling them, there is always a name, a spirit behind the marks, behind that person, a spirit that attaches itself to that very person. You see, we are looking at there's a spirit attached to the person of the narcissist. You see, it's only when that spirit leaves the person can become normal again. The person can embrace his humanity and then begin to live like every other person. If the spirit does not leave that person, that's why they don't change. They don't change because the spirit doesn't leave them. Unless the spirit leaves that person. And that spirit will encounter a higher power, a higher spirit, before it will leave the body of the narcissist. And so the narcissist will become a normal person. Otherwise, they don't change. That's why when you see, like this no contact is very important. Even when you leave the narcissist as a victim, if the narcissist, even when you have children together with the narcissist, if that spirit has not left the narcissist, like some people always have the temptation to take the narcissist back because of the children. Yes, it's difficult to let go when children are involved. But you see, if the spirit behind, the spirit that possesses the narcissist, that spirit that is in him, has not left him, the narcissist will never change. All the things you suffer, you are going to recycle the experience. You are going to start all over again and begin to suffer them again. Unless the spirit that is behind that human, that person, has left the person. If the spirit is still with the narcissist, there is nothing. Going back to the narcissist may be a very dangerous decision, you know, going back. Because this second time, the narcissist may even kill you. He may kill you, the woman, because that spirit is still operating in him. You see, these narcissistic people, they are not just, they are spirit attached, the spirit, they are powers. That's why you see some of them are very, as you see them, they are very intuitive. If you are with them, you want to carry out an action, they know. If you are with them, if you are doing something, that some of your things, like if you are, for example, maybe you are somebody who embraces your spirituality more. If you are a spiritual person and you are living with a narcissist, there is going to be war. It's because they war, especially if you are with a vindictive narcissist. All those collapsed ones that looks like uh, they look simple when you look at them, they look very quiet, very gentle, you know. But you see the energy with it, the energy they embody is a terrible one. So if you are the type that is somehow spiritual, highly spiritual, and you pray a lot, you pray all the time, or maybe you engage in a meditation, you begin to do meditation, and you have the your narcissistic husband with you in the same house, you are going to have problems unless you, because the narcissist will not be able to stay with you, will not be able, two of you will not be, is either you move away or it will kill you, because what you're doing will begin to disturb him. It will disturb him because it's not just alone, it's not only him, there's someone else who is with him, there's a power that regulates him, that attaches itself to him, that makes him to do unleash all those terrible things you see the narcissists doing all the time. You see, you see them giving pain, torture. They torture their victims. You see all these things they are doing. They are not doing it because they are. That's why when they are doing it, you see they are doing all those things. It's as if they don't even know that they are. Sometimes it appears as if they don't even know that they are doing it. And then sometimes when you look at it, you will think that they know that they are doing it. It's because they are not, there's a spirit attached to them that is using them. Their spirit too is manipulating them to do all of that. Because that's the only way the spirit can take supply, from people. You see, those powers, those spirits, they don't have, they don't take supply directly from the divine source like we do. Like when we pray, when we go to God, we take supply directly from God. We pray, God supplies our needs. But you see those spirits, the spirit, the negative energy that attaches itself to these people we call narcissists cannot take supply directly from the divine source. No, they can't. And that is why they can only get their needs met in random ways. And that is why you see they create confusion, problems, chaos. You know, this is when people suffers, other people are sad. When there is misery, there is pain, there is killing. You see, that's when they take their own supply because they dwell on those kind of energy. That's what feeds them. That's what feeds them. They are not like you and I. They feed on negativity because they feed on bad things. Bad things must happen for them to get their needs met, and that's why bad things can never stop happening. Because if bad things stop to happen, how are they going to feed? How are they going to get their needs met? They feed on those things. It's only those things that they feed on, and so they must happen for them to get their needs met. So that's why the power, that force attaches itself to people, so that through those people they can get their needs met. You see, that's why narcissists can't change unless they encounter a higher power, because the energies that regulate them, the powers, the forces behind the person or the people we call narcissists seek supply from their hosts. You see, the narcissists, they attach themselves to the people we call the narcissists and begin to take supply, creating all those things. All those they create pain, suffering, torture, because these are the things that feed them. These are the things, this is how they get their needs met. So they must do all those things. And they cannot get that on their own unless they attach themselves to some people. You see, and that thing, that's why it continues to happen. And even now, we even have more narcissists than before. They are just everywhere now. They are everywhere. You will find out of 10 men, only 2 or 3 are normal people. The rest are narcissists. Find out. That is how it's. I mean, they are just. They are everywhere. They are just everywhere now. If you have 10 men, only 2 or 3 are normal. The rest are dysfunctional people. All of them may not be narcissists. Out of the 7, you may have some psychopaths. You have psychopaths there. You will have the sociopath, and then you will have the narcissist. So these dysfunctional people are just everywhere now. So that's why it's important that, especially women, because it's women they use mostly. Women are mostly their targets, although there are also female narcissists. There are who also target men who are empathic, but there are more male narcissists than females, and so women are more vulnerable. Women are more in danger of getting attracting narcissists or marrying to the narcissists than the women, because the male narcissists are more than the women. So it's important that women begin to learn about the psychology of narcissism. It's very important. It's something that, in fact, should be incorporated in syllabuses in school, so that they will be teaching. I don't know, maybe like something like a course is a course like perhaps if it's a psychology you can learn about narcissism. Or it just be something that is psychology becomes a course, a compulsory course in maybe in college or in any other in schools generally, so that people will begin to learn. And then also calling the narcissist out, because we are always thinking about not calling. No, you don't have want to, you don't have to call anyone a name or call them out for whatever reason. But where we keep, if we don't call them out, that means we'll continue to enable that. We enable them. If you are enabling them, they will continue to cause the havoc they are causing. People are already suffering. Women have been dying. Women have been dying in the hands of narcissists. So it's time to be calling these people out. Call them out. If it's something they can begin to um, let themselves have their awareness, because some of them don't, some of them knows they are narcissists, and some of them do not know that they are narcissists. Let there be the awareness first, general aware. Let all of them become aware. If you are behaving like this, let people begin to tell them that you are a narcissist, so that they become aware. And if there's something they can do to, I know, because there's a spirit attached to it, it cannot end. It's not something that they can control. It's not. Because excuse me, because there's a spirit attached to that body that is using it to manipulate and do all those things that it's doing. Because of that, it can't, the paradigm will not end. But it is good that people begin to learn about it, so that at least when you know about something, you will know how to protect yourself against it. You will know how to go about it. Even when it will help you know when you are making your choices, and particularly in the aspect of marriage, you will be able to know, you'll be able to assess, you'll be able to understand that, oh, you understand the kind of people you can accept or you can go for if you have the awareness. And then you will be able, so that you will be able to protect yourself from all these dysfunctional people. It doesn't, it's not something um, of interest. It doesn't interest, I don't think it does interest anybody to call, to tag people or to call people dysfunctional. But we have to call a spade a spade. That is actually what it is. When someone is dysfunctional, that person is dysfunctional. We don't have to garnish it or make it sound as if because we don't want to offend anybody. No, it's not like we are offending people. We are just saying what is true. Yes, we are just saying what is true. When something is true, it is true. There's nothing we can do about it. We just have to say what it is. We don't have to pretend because we don't want them to feel bad. No, we have to say it. You have to call them. If you have a child at home who is a narcissist, call that child a narcissist. Do you know you are a narcissist? And maybe the child will begin to ask you, what do you mean? If you're as a mother, the child will ask, "Ah, Mommy, what do you mean a narcissist?" And you begin to list the behavior, explain to the child the kind of behavior that the child is showing you, and the way the child is behaving outside, and what people are saying about the way he's acting. And maybe from there, the child will begin to, you know, call in himself or herself to order. Although there's a spirit regulating them, but then if that child is aware, the child will be something that could make the child to be ashamed, and because of that may want to stop or be careful, be more careful, when acting outside, or trying to, I mean, begin to maybe stay, limit the way, or not behave the way, the normal way narcissists behave, because of shame, or because of fear. Not necessarily fear. They are not afraid. They are afraid inside of them. They are afraid inside, but because they are not the ones who are in control of the way they behave, it's not something, they don't have the fear of not to do the things that they are doing. They don't have that fear because they are under control too. So, but maybe to some extent to begin to help when people, when you are doing something that is not right and somebody is telling you, no, this thing, and they try to like shame you a bit, you may want to limit the way you do it. So I think that will help too. I don't know, but I feel so because the situation is so bad now. It's so terrible. Women are dying on daily basis in the hands of narcissists, and I think that we should be calling these people out. Call them out. When you see a narcissist, call that person out. This, you are a narcissist. It doesn't matter who that person is. It doesn't, even if the person is not your husband. If the person is your sister or your brother, you should call them out. Let them know they are narcissists. The way they are behaving, this is how they are behaving, and this is not right. They should act. They should live. They should embrace more of their humanity. They are not to be dwelling in that and be causing pain, destruction to other people's lives. I hope this helps. We'll end here for today. I love you guys. Have a great time.